system is what needs to be re-engineered. You cannot employ people or take people into the military, into the intelligence system, into any armed system, Navy, Air Force, or whatever, without a level of mental assessment of the people, psychological appraisal of the people. You cannot employ people into the police force by federal character, by allocation of 500 and something to the northern states and 80 to the southern states. No, you cannot employ police like that. It is dangerous to employ police like that. But half of the time, more than half of the time, the education level, the educational level of even the lance corporal, the corporal in the police is not literate. It's not literate. And so the capacity, the psychological capacity to deal with people at the level of human respect and rights is not there. You cannot unleash a 25-year-old, 30-year-old man and woman on the people that are old enough to be their parents, their grandparents, young enough to be their siblings or their children, with the mentality that they can do anything to them and get away with it. No, no. They are employed by the state. Now, having said that, when you employ someone into the military, into the police, into any situation where their lives, I'm talking, if you like, for the police now or the army, where you are asking them to do what you will not do. I wanted to join the army when I was young, but today the way that Nigeria treats soldiers and their armed personnel, I will not encourage anybody I love to join the army or any armed section of our government. Why? Because they are not treated well. The police take out their frustration, and they are frustrated. How can you pay somebody 50,000 naira? You're not providing housing for him. You're not providing medical care for him. Yes, they are there in the structure, but it's not working. The federal government is budgeting money for police, for army, for their welfare, for their salaries, and yet they are not getting it. Sometimes, just like pensioners, just like civil service, the police are not paid for months on end. The zonal, the commissioners of police are not paid, and yet they are the responsibility of federal government. They are not the responsibility of state government, because the state government does not control them. So why should the state government pick up their bills? It's this federal government that is supposed to pick up the bill of the armed system of our governance. So now, if the federal government have failed the police, then it trickles down all the way into our communities, into the states. For instance, the states across the South, the states that think they are rich, that collect 13%, also pay a level of this money they collect to the army, to the police, to the Air Force, to the Navy, to all kinds of security things. They buy vehicles for them. They build houses for them. This is not the responsibility of state government if the police is not under the full authority and management of the state government. The state government, I've said this before, the state government ordinarily should not use the people's money. It's the people's money. The state government in Rivers State recently have just released how many housing units to armed personnel of different branches somewhere outside of Port Harcourt. Recently, just about a week ago. Why? Rivers State government have not even finished building houses even for old people in their communities or in their local government. Should they build houses for police and other people? It's responsibility of the federal government. If the federal government is claiming that the police is under their authority, then they should pay for them. They should rent houses for, they should pay them enough, including their house rents taken into, you cannot pay a man 50,000 and expect him to pay rent, expect him to pay for his medical care, expect him to have transportation, expect him to pay his children's school fees, send money home to his parents in the village, and do all the necessary things that you need to do as a man, a woman, a family man, a family woman, and take care of your responsibility. With 50,000 naira, you can't do it. And so because you cannot do it, it's natural. You will find other means of doing it. And then the only other means left to do it is to extort money from the people that you're sent to protect. Why are there police checkpoints and custom checkpoints across certain areas in Nigeria more than certain areas in Nigeria? You will say it's for security purpose. Ordinarily, it should be right. It should be for security purposes. But between the hours of, say, 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock, you don't see them. And that's when actually the evil is also perpetrated. So, for instance, the Rivers State government, a few years ago, we were shouting, oh, there is piracy on the seas. People cannot go to Bonny, people cannot go to Kola, between Abonima and Kola, between Port Harcourt and Bonny, Okobo, all these waterine areas that there is Bayelsa. Okay, let me not put Bayelsa, Rivers State, because that's what I'm saying. Now, these areas, the governor, the army is not under his control, the navy is not under his control, the air force is not under his control, the police is not, they have river police, what do they call them, water police, river police, or whatever they call them, they have them. Marine police, they have marine police. So, these people, what they claim that the military and the navy is doing today in waters of the riverine areas of the Niger Delta region is actually primarily the work of the marine police. But the marine police is not under the authority of the states where they are. So since they are not under the authority of the states, why should the state fund them? But the state is funded because on a weekend bought, I can't quite recall, maybe somebody may know. If they do, they can message it in. Governor Wike bought gunboats for the Navy. As I speak to you today, please, I don't know if even people working with the governor can hear it. Those gunboats, I've heard Governor Wike say some time ago that if they are not going to deploy those gunboats in Rivers State, they should return the gunboats to Rivers State. It's not their property. It was bought for them, for the Navy, for to patrol the waters where we know that we have crisis. And yet those gunboats are not here. They're not in Rivers State. They've been taken to Lagos or wherever they are. So why would we use our money to buy gunboats for Navy? That is federal government responsibility. So the budget that the federal government budgeted for Navy, where is that one? That's corruption. Somebody has stolen the money. And then they now say the state government are not providing security. If you allow any state government in the Niger Delta to provide their own security, today we have the money, we will equip people for heavy work, we will equip people for army work, for police work. But tomorrow, it is these same politicians that will turn around and say they want to use it for election. So it is okay for people's rights to be denied as long as you say it's election. The issues, therefore, is while we are saying no to SARS, disband SARS, and while we must reject the issue of SARS somersaulting into SWAT, we must say that the police welfare too is an issue, because it is because of their welfare. They too are hungry. They wake up with children who are hungry in the morning. The police too wake up with children who are hungry in the morning, just like the people they are killing. You cannot say that a young man cannot drive a car. You cannot say that because a young man decides to dress a particular way, that you must kill him. That is a Yahoo. There are Yahoo boys, yes. But you don't just see them and an angel or the angel of the devil tells you this one is Yahoo boy. No, you have to investigate. You have to investigate. In America recently, some people wanted to go and kidnap a governor of a state. The police investigated. The FBI investigated and arrested about 16 people. That's where police work. Where do you see police people outside of Nigeria mounting a roadblock mainly to collect 50 naira, 100 naira? As you collect, they are collecting that 50 naira, 100 naira, assuming that there are some people who are willing to pay for it, and they collect it. Do they know what those people are carrying in the back of their car? No. So what are you doing? Do you know if those people are carrying arms and ammunition? You collect money, you don't search the things. But that is where the federal government have reduced the mentality of the people in the police. They've reduced a work that is for honorable people. When you join the army and the police, it means you love your people, you love your country, you're willing to die for it. Nobody is willing to die for Nigeria. Nobody. Why should any? Look at the way that people are, the soldiers are killed in the hands of Boko Haram. How people are killed from a particular section of Nigeria. Those are the people that are constantly killed from in the hands of Boko Haram. And yet, look at the money that is allocated to security in the area that Boko Haram is operating. So the problem that we face across Nigeria, in the hands of SARS, especially in the south, and like the governor rightly said, there is no state that have suffered in the hands of SARS the way that Rivers State people have suffered. No, I don't think that there is a state. He's right. I say that too, that no state have suffered in the hands of SARS like Rivers State have suffered. Should it be like that? The fact that we are highlighting this does not mean that every single human being in the police force is bad. No, there are good people in the police force, and then there are good people in the society. So the point is that there is no way that we are condemning all of the police, but if the head is rotten, everywhere else must be rotten or is rotten. So I'm making a case for the citizen, of which the police is one. The police is a citizen first. If he's not a citizen, he won't join the police. The police is a human being. He's a citizen like you and I. But there is just something in the police system, in the army system, in the government, in this in the policy making, that have now made the police to become an enemy of the people that they are supposed to be working for, and have made the people that the police is to be served to be enemies of police. We're not enemies of police. When I was growing up, the police, DPO, whatever, the head of the police in Abonima, the people that were in the police force were not people that were strangers. They spoke our languages. You interacted with them, lived with us in the community. Police were highly respected in our community in those days. And if peradventure they were not from our community, they were not too far away, the wives, the children lived in the community. They attended the same primary school that I attended in Abonima. They were part of us. But today, you bring a police DPO that is not from anywhere near us, does not speak our language, does not understand our culture, and he is now the one that makes decisions of life and death over our people, of right and wrong over our people. And we're saying, let us have state police. And the government is saying no. If you have state police, the political party will say no. Political parties should not have a say in our lives. No. One political party will say, no, we don't agree. When they don't agree this year, when they are in power, they agree to the same thing that they disagreed to 4 years ago. They will now agree to it. So things are politicized. That was why I was told that the protest of yesterday in Rivers State, even though it was planned like every other ones across Nigeria, and every state was getting up, people protested in Imo, people protested in Akwa Ibom State, and all of that. But when it came to Rivers State, the information was that there is concern that it was going to be turned into a political issue of which road is being built, which road is not being built, and which governor is doing this, is not doing that. No, that should not have ever been the case. Whether you're in APC, whether you're in PDP, because SARS does not ask anybody which party you belong to, who is your father, who is your mother. SARS don't ask you that. As a matter of fact, if they know that your father is a politician, your mother is a politician, or is a well-known person, it's even worse for you, because now they hold you and say your father must bring that money. So if they were going to ask for 100,000, they will ask for 500 or 1 million. So it's even better that they don't know. So these are the issues that we're talking about. We should not allow something as critical as the lives of our children, our indigents, to be cut short. There are horrific stories of a young girl who was carrying a placard from Rio State that SARS picked up a brother, and eventually somebody who was in the holding cell was the one who told her family that SARS picked him and they've killed him. And his body is in the mortuary. You can imagine. As a mother, as a sister, as a father, as a wife, how will you feel?